Hello and welcome back to Ladies Who Listen, the music podcast for women by women. Today I am joined by a very special guest. This is Georgia Johnson.
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So Georgia is a female artist in Liverpool and you're from Liverpool as well.
Yes, I am. Born and bred.
So how did you start in the industry in Liverpool?
I've kind of always done music in like schools and stuff. Like growing up, I did not leave the music department in like secondary school and that, and it's kind of blossomed from there, kind of. And then when I got to uni, because I knew I wanted to do music at uni, so once I started that, I kind of got into like the gigging scene and stuff, because all my mates were like gigging, and then somehow I just kind of fell into it myself. Or like my live band are like my own friends as well, so we all kind of just like fell into it by accident, kind of.
I feel like that's how I was as well. Like when I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, I was at gigs every single week, like because I just love being part of the scene. It's the best way to be. It is, and it's how I've met like most of my friends and stuff like that. Like I've got loads of friends that are still in bands to this day, or like have gone and done their own thing, or have gone to different cities and stuff. But I
love that.
You chose to stay in Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I love my city, not to be like mad. I love my city. Like I go to other places and it's nice to go on holiday and all that, but I know that I'd never leave.
You always want to come back.
I always,
that's
genuinely.
What I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like Liverpool is so tight-knit for the music scene as well. Like everyone knows each other.
Exactly,
it's really supportive. Like,
it's
you know
definitely,
what you're
it's friendly as well. It is.
Yeah, you grew up going to all like big places as well. Like, I used to live in like the Zanzibar when I was younger.
No, I love the Liverpool music scene. It's like, in a way, it's like no other. Like I've done gigs outside of the city and stuff, but it just doesn't compare.
No.
I don't know, I feel like when it's your own city as well, you're proud of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What other cities have you done gigs in then?
Well, in March I did Leeds and Manchester, so they were my first two gigs outside of Liverpool. They were boss. I loved them, I did, but not in comparison to Liverpool.
Especially when like all your friends and all your family are here, like it feels so much more lively.
Definitely.
When you know the people that you're playing for and like, they come to support you.
Absolutely. And even like just having other Scousers in the audience, you bounce off them. You do.
Because you've got like that feeling in common.
Yeah, exactly.
From Liverpool. Like everyone from Liverpool is so proud of who they are and what the community is.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
I know, neither would I. I can't imagine ever leaving or going anywhere else now. So in the industry, did you find that as a woman it was harder for you to break into the industry than it would have been if you were a man?
Yeah, the thing that stands out for me most is that there's not as many women as there are men.
Yeah.
In like, say if I go to a gig, like the sound tech, 9 times out of 10 it's a man, the promoter 9 times out of 10 it's a man, even the audience, like even if you look on my like little, you've got like a Spotify for artists where you can see your stats and stuff, there's more men than female that listen to my music, which I find is quite interesting.
Yeah, like I was having this discussion with like my female friends where we were saying we don't listen to enough female artists. Like the majority of our artists we listen to are men, and I don't know whether that's just because there are less women in the industry,
maybe. Or
maybe that's just what we're used to. And we need to, but we shouldn't have to broaden it out.
Definitely.
Like we should just be listening to women artists anyway.
Like if you look at like a festival lineup, there's always loads more men than women, sort of thing. 9 times out of 10, but I don't know if that's just a thing that is like, you know, more men happen to be more creative or something. You don't know, do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of more men in the industry.
Oh, definitely. So when you're like doing gigs and stuff, do you find that like all the other artists you're playing with are like male-led bands? Or
sometimes I do get a fair like lot of female musicians though, and most of them are my mates. Yeah. Because we just find that like we're close-knitted, do you know what I mean? And we just happen to like, especially for the Scouts, like you just make that bond instantly. Most of the female musicians are my friends. Yeah. And then you'd have like there's a lot of male bands, do you know what I mean? And like the industry, like male indie bands, like they're all boss, but there's loads of them, do you know what I mean? So it makes women stand out a bit more.
Yeah. Because it's a different sound, like just from hearing the voice, like it's such a different sound.
It is.
And, like I go to like an open mic on Thursday nights, which is from the Band Society, and even the Band Society, I've hardly met any women that are doing
Is that the one in the Scholar?
Yeah,
it is. It's very, I have, it is very, there's a lot of men, there is.
Loads of men there, but not enough girls. Like, I've been up a few times myself and like sang, but I don't really put my music out there, it's just more for like a fun thing. But when I go to like the Battle of the Bands, or they put on in the Zanzibar, like it's always men that are playing. However, a woman did recently win the Battle of the Bands.
Oh, amazing,
really
I love to see stuff like that, I really do, yeah. It is increasing though.
Yeah,
it is
I
increasing,
think it is increasing.
definitely, because I've only really been gigging since October, is my first, solo gigs, because I was in like a girl band and stuff like last year and that, but now that I'm solo, I'm kind of recognising it a bit more, do you know what I mean? So it's increasing slowly.
Yeah. I feel like the demand for bands is bigger anyway, so when you're part of a female band, like, that's sort of its own thing, but then when you go solo, you realise it is much harder to do
because you kind of feel like you're in it, like yourself sort of thing, do you know what I mean? And you notice things a lot more than if you were just like, because we were best mates as well, do you know what I mean? So like, we didn't look at our surroundings, we were like, oh, we're playing this gig because we're best mates sort of thing, But now that I'm like looking back, I'm like, okay, this is me, what's my surroundings? And it's interesting to see you pick it up a lot more.
Yeah,
you
definitely. So you're quite new to the industry,
I am,
really?
yeah, pretty much, but I mean, the song that I released the 3rd of March, that was my first ever, like my debut single. So I am, like, there's still a lot of firsts for me, do you know what I mean? So like, I had my first gig, I've done my first open mic, my first gig outside of Liverpool. It's all still very recent for me. Yeah. But I've kind of thrown myself in the deep end. Yeah. Because I've got this mindset, if I don't do it now, I never will. So I'm kind of just, I'm enjoying it all at the moment. It's a lot, but you know, you've got to do it now or you won't.
Especially at this age, like, I feel like when I was growing up, like, going to gigs and stuff, like, everyone who was in gigs was my age, and I feel like when you get to, like, in your 20s, it's like the make or break point. Yeah. Like, I know so many people who got to, like, 2021 and they thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. Or they've carried on with it and gone solo maybe and not been as successful. But then I know others that have been really successful. Yeah. So
it's when it becomes serious. Yeah. I think, because, like, when I was in first year in uni, because like, I'm going into third year in September now, but when I was in first year, I was in, like a female presenting band sort of thing, and we kind of, as I said, we were all best mates. Like, we never took it serious. Like, we did, because obviously we were music students, we wanted to gig and stuff, but we never thought about the future sort of thing. And now that's all I'm thinking about. So it's mad how it changed. Yeah. But it's a career now, do you know what I mean? It is.
Your choice. It's set on, like, you've got to try. Like, I suppose, like, when you do it for fun, like, oh, you get a gig here and there. Like, it's fun, it's okay. Oh, we've got a gig coming up, but when it becomes your career, it's like you're set on that. Yeah, you've got to rely on the gigs and the exposure and the marketing and stuff as well. Yeah,
especially if you're a solo artist, like, you've got to do it all yourself. So you've got to do it seriously, do you know what I mean? It's all about promo.
Yeah, it is all about promo. Yeah. Because, like, I've always wanted to get into it myself, but I'm too scared. Yeah. And I feel like now at this age as well, knowing, like, it wouldn't be, like, I'd love to do it for fun. Like, obviously I do open mics and stuff like that, but actually getting your music out there and like, getting people to listen to it, that's a whole other story.
It's a lot, it is. People don't realise how much it takes. I always say, like, so obviously, like, I've got a normal job, like, I'm a waitress and that, and, like, they're all like, oh, what gig are you doing tomorrow, sort of thing. It's like a different world. I feel like Hannah Montana, do you know what I mean? I do. So literally living a double life, and, like, it's another job, it is, and people don't realise that. But if you make, like, it's not a lot of money, but if you make money from it, it's a job, do you know what I mean?
Do you think you'd be happy always doing it on the side? Or do you think
I always think this? No, I'd want to make it essentially, like, without sounding as big-headed, like, I want to make it sort of thing, because that's what I'm in it for. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it right.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't like doing stuff full-time that is my passion, because I feel like I'll end up hating it.
Yeah. If you do it too much, I get that. Or I'll either get extremely hyperfixated on it for a while, and then I'll be like, I'm bored of this now. But so far it's been going well. Like, me, or the job at the moment is literally just a waitressing job to accommodate for when I want to do gigs and stuff, because obviously, like, travel money, stuff like that, there's stuff that goes into it. So at the moment, my whole life, like, even my music degree, all that is going into this, like, live stuff that's going on at the moment, all these gigs and stuff. It's all, like, it feeds into it, you know what I mean?
So do you produce your own music and stuff?
I do have a producer. His name's Joe Sage. Brilliant. He's like, how I can't put into words, he does it for me. Exactly. Literally, I had to go in the studio in uni by myself and stuff like that. I'm useless with technology. Useless. I try and pick it up, but I'm awful. So I reached out to him when he was on holiday, and he was like, when I get back from Italy, we'll sort it. So we had a FaceTime call, and I was like, I had 1,000,001 songs I've been writing since I was like 14. They were all awful, don't get me wrong, but like there was one or two that stood out to him, and he was like, I know what you're interpreting through this, and that's how we kind of made it work. So he's like my second brain in a way.
Yeah, he just gets it.
He is, yeah.
That's what I struggle with. It's like, I know how I want things to sound, but I can't physically do it.
Do it, yeah. People don't like emphasis on that enough. Like that happens a lot in music.
Yeah.
Like all my mates like struggle with that kind of, but my drummer in my live band, she's a producer as well. So she does all the uni bands, all my friends, all their songs and that. She's brilliant, honestly. I've never seen a wizard in the studio like her, besides being a producer. But so I know I've got her as well, and especially with drums, I am awful with like explaining drums. So like say we're writing a new song, I'll bring it to them and I'll be like, so we want it to go bum bum ch, and she'll be like, okay, so you mean the hi-hat? And I'm like, yeah, I have no clue. So she's brilliant as well for like interpreting it for me. Yeah.
If I'm just doing my own music, like I put songs out on like SoundCloud, but not like anyone to listen to. It's my own thing. But I've only just started like adding in like drums and backing things, and it's like it's awful. Like it sounds
do you know
so
what?
bad.
It's a journey. It is. Yeah, you have absolutely. And as I said, I kind of got thrown in the deep end. Like I'd never like I was in the uni studio, but I'd never like released nothing. Like that was my first like actual thing that I'd put out there in the world, besides like my Instagram stories. Like I'd put like a little song on there now and again, and I'd get good feedback from it, from like all like viewers and stuff. So it kind of just went from there, do you know what I mean? But that was the first thing that I'd fully put out, and I was like, wow, this is weird. Yeah, like I'm still like, I was like, Alexa, play my song, and she was like, okay. I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay. It feels like it still hasn't set in. It's been a month and it's not set in that like Alexa knows my name. Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
Like, you search up and find
literally.
Music. It's such a good feeling though.
It's good. It is. It's rewarding, especially like as I said before, the Spotify for artists and like Apple Music for artists and stuff. Looking at like your listens go up every day, and like it tells you when someone's listening now. So it says like 1 person, 2 people listening now. Exactly. Like but when you just like you go on the app and it'll come up with like 2 people listening now. Oh my god, it's the most heart like warming feeling ever. It's lovely. It is. So it is, but like it's something to build up to, do you know what I mean? I would like, even for you, I'd recommend just reaching out to like even just like a local producer, do you know, like someone who's like studying towards it or something, just to like interpret what you're wanting to put out there, do you know what I mean? Because if you don't do it now, you never will. Never will.
I need to get into it.
The reason why I've got that mindset is because I literally like, I was in a relationship last year, and when I broke up with him, it was the biggest relief I've ever felt in the world. It was like the most toxic relationship going. Oh my god. The second, because he was a musician as well, so I was like always going to his gigs and like supporting him and that, as I would, and I don't regret it at all. Like I am a supportive person, but the second I like broke up with him, I was like, I'm going to do this for me now. Like I've wanted to do that for so long. Exactly. So that's kind of what kick-started it as well. Yeah. You
just thought, well, this is my chance.
Exactly. So if I don't do it now, then I won't. It's never going to last when it's like that, do you know what I mean? Like you're bound to get out one way or another.
Like have you experienced sexism in the industry so far? Do you feel like...
I've been quite lucky, I think. So I have and I haven't. As I said before, everyone's a man. Everyone, like wherever you turn, there's a man there. And some of them, like, a lot of people kind of just like, because like they're attracted to you or something. Like I wear short skirts when I'm on stage, I know that, do you know what I mean? But like you'll get men approach you and stuff like that, but it's how you deal with it as well. You've got to be careful and just be like, sorry, no. Do you know what I mean? But I do get a few men approach me and stuff, but in terms of like promoters or sound technicians, they're very professional. And they know what they're doing. Like especially in Liverpool, it's a good place, and they know that, do you know what I mean? It's a good place to be.
I think it's because it's smaller. So like the industry is how it is, it's set. Like you know the people who you're working with, and there's not that, you know, there's not loads of like different people.
Everyone knows each other as well, exactly.
So there's no room to be like dodgy.
And if there is, everyone will find out the next day. So I haven't really experienced much, but
That's good then. I felt like in the industry, like producers and stuff would be a bit patronising to like a young woman doing it.
Do you know what? Like I have heard stories of other people's, but I think, like as I said before, I've kind of felt lucky in there.
That's good. So what's the most positive experience you've had so far?
Do Do you know what just popped into my mind? It's a bit weird, right? So I did a gig in Manchester on the 31st of March, just gone. And I was in the, there's people in the audience, and I was like, hi everyone, I'm from Liverpool. And everyone just picked up instantly. They were laughing their heads off. And I was like, I should be a comedian instead. Like, with this accent outside of Liverpool, when you take the Scouser out of somewhere, it stands out, the accent, so much more. So I was just in the audience, and I was like, has anyone got purple bins? Anyone from Liverpool? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, do you know what? There's people from Liverpool who've came to Manchester to see my gig. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, that's like why people actually travel to come and see me. It's the most bizarre feeling in the world. So that's kind of stuck with me a bit, especially because like I had that little Scouse interaction in there at Boss,
So you've got that group already,
like,
supporting you.
Yeah, little groupies.
So what inspires your music? What inspires you to write?
Most of the songs I write are written on the bathroom floor.
Really?
Genuinely. And I don't know why. The bathroom floor is like my favourite place. It's like the reverb of the tiles in the room as well. So like I'll sit down, acoustic guitar, me and my phone and just a notebook, and I'll just write whatever comes to mind. I don't do it that often anymore just because recently I'm on the go 24/7. I don't get a minute, literally. So I'll like put it in my notes app and stuff and come back to it later. And then now that I've got my live band as well, I'll take like a chord progression, or one of them will show me something and I'll be like, let me interpret that to my own sort of thing. So like recently I've kind of been getting others to help me write sort of thing, which is good. But notes app is just the way to go at the moment. It really is.
Like, so many
especially with like, because I know you write poetry, don't you? I'm the same. Note app, it's the way to go.
I feel like if you write poetry, you write music.
You write
poetry. It goes hand in hand.
Ironically, a lot of my lyrics are poems before they turn into, like Sunflowers was, and then another song of mine, The Moon, that was half of it was more of like a speech, just a hate crime to my ex, like see you later. So I've kind of just been like transferring it into songs.
Thank you so much for coming.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
So the song of the week obviously is going to be Georgia Johnson's Sunflowers Still Grow in Darkness, which was out on the 3rd of March and is available on all streaming platforms now.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.